Hey, welcome everybody to this week's episode of Ant on Music. I'm your host, Ant, and this week we're going to be looking at only three bands, but a whole bunch of music by them. Um, One of the bands is local to the New York scene, but they did have a national record contract, but I'm going to save them for the last because it's going to be something that's totally unbelievable. Uh, it's an extremely rare cassette. That's right, you heard me right. Cassette, not album, not CD, cassette. But before we get started, I'm going to do my usual groveling and begging. Uh, Click like, click share. Most importantly, if you're new here and you haven't done it yet, please click that subscribe button. Uh, Want to make this channel grow, and I can only do that with more subscribers. That is you who have not subscribed just yet. Uh, as far as the week has gone, it has been an exceptionally busy week in my household. My twins graduated a couple of weeks back between the two of them from two different schools, and we had to get ready and do their grad party this week, which made things very hectic around the house. And of course, this happens during a heat wave here in New York, so it was extra sticky and extra, disgusting as far as the heat and humidity is concerned. So if you're in that heat zone here in the Northeast or anywhere in the world, make sure you stay hydrated, as I have been doing all week. We're going to get into the music in a moment. So if you haven't figured it out just yet, the three bands that we're looking at this week, three of my favorites, probably my second favorite Canadian band of all time, Voivod. Uh, if you really want to think about it, the original thrash band, don't beat me up in the comments, eXodus, and as I say, local legends to the East Coast, Gothic Slam. So let's get into this, and I'll start off with this. Bands get to their record contract, and gets to the end of the contract, or they owe an old label an album or whatever, and they usually throw something out like some crappy compilation or some throwaway live album. All right, not the case here with Exodus. All right, Exodus, as they're leaving Nuclear Blast, and they're moving on to a new label. So a few weeks back, they put out their final album, their final contractual obligation with Nuclear Blast, and as here we have our little hype sticker that came with it, Nuclear Blast Records, and it is gold vinyl, and we're going to take a look at that right now. This is Exodus, the Battle of '89, live at the Astoria. And this album is absolutely a killer live set. This is, one of the classic lineups of Exodus. Gary Holt, Rick Hunolt, Steve Souza, Tom Hunting, and Rob McKillop on bass. Here's the gatefold. You can take a look at that. Obviously everything dealing with war, because it was the Battle of London, Battle of '89, live at the Astoria in London, and it's done up like an old-time newspaper with lots of headlines, which gives you some mock-up ads and everything. And this was for the Fabulous Disaster Tour, and this was just like 9 months after they had put out Pleasures of the Flesh. So this came right on the heels of that, and they were firing on all cylinders. And take a look at the vinyl. It's two slabs of beautiful gold vinyl. Take a look at one. All right, got a lot of colorful stuff coming at you this week, so we have that. All right, and it is a beautiful gold vinyl. And thank you, Nuclear Blast, for putting them in nice sleeves and also not packing it in to the sleeves on the vinyl, on the cover itself, because it has a tendency to tear at the spine. So that's cool. And this has got a killer track listing. I mean, a lot of stuff from the album they were touring for and Pleasures of the Flesh, and of course, a couple of classic Exodus tracks thrown in as well. You got Last Act of Defiance, Fabulous Disaster, Till Death Do Us Part, Corruption, Toxic Waltz, absolutely killer track, especially live. A Lesson in Violence, Chemical, Piranha, Like Father, Like Son, Deliver Us to Evil, Parasite, and then there was None, Verbal Razors, Brain Dead, and Strike of the Beast. And this is all killer, no filler. This is not just, hey, we needed to do an album to fulfill our contract with Nuclear Blast. This album is a I'm going to go out on a limb here. I'm going to say this is probably the best live Exodus album ever put out so far. It is fantastic top to bottom. If you haven't heard it, or if you haven't picked it up yet, do so. It is worth the bucks. All right. Next, what we're going to get into is a whole bunch of albums by one band. All right. And that is Voivod. And you got a little bit of controversy with this. Okay. So Voivod, with this box set, they put in some demos. Okay, a couple albums that are demo albums, like Dimension Hatra, stuff like that. Blackie from Voivod, has moved on from the band, and he, in the past year, between 2023 and 2024, has put out a handful of albums of Voivod demos, including one that he's not on. And he also put out a live album of the one time that they played in a bar. And I was, I'll be honest with you, when I first heard about it, I thought it was kind of crappy thing to do, without the other bandmates. And, I didn't think it was cool. And I actually said so online, and Blackie kind of called me out on it, which is all right. That's fine. But he's put out this bunch of albums, and, so when you look at them and you see them, it's kind of like, when you see the covers, it's like, it really looks very demo-y, I guess is the way you can look at it. But I will tell you, they are really beautiful albums. They are well made. The recordings are actually pretty damn good. I mean, these are pre-production demos, and some of them are a little rough in spaces, but overall the quality is excellent. Far exceeded what I thought it was going to be. So we're going to take a look at a bunch of those. So the first one, these are Roar, rough demo mix. You can see a picture of the band there. And, it's got exactly what you'd expect. Korgel the Exterminator, ripping headaches, build your weapons to the death, fuck off and die, thrashing rage, hell driver, slaughter in a grave, horror, and Korgel the Exterminator live. And, this is plain, like I said, you look at that, it's pretty basic, right? And I guess to be expected, because Away, Michael is the one that does the artwork for them, so it's just basically, the Voivod logo, but pictures. But they did put them on beautiful colored vinyl, each of them, and they're labeled two sides, this and that. So that was the first one, and these are all, I believe, numbered limited editions, if I remember correctly. So somewhere on there it actually says what the number is on it. If I can locate it, I'll let you know. Maybe it was on the 2024 ones. I do notice, yeah, there's nothing on this one, but I do remember seeing something on the latter ones. So that was the first one that he put out. And then the next one that came out with that was Latitude, Dimension Hatros pre-production. Okay, and there is a number on this. This is number, if you look really closely, number 265, and obviously it's Dimension Hatros pre-production. You got Experiment, Tribal Conviction, Chaos Mongers, Technocratic Manipulators, Macro Solutions to Mega Problems, Brain Scan, Psychic Vacuum, Cosmic Drama, and Envoy. So you have those, and the two latter tracks aren't like the greatest sounding, but very cool. And this came out on a gorgeous orange vinyl, and once again labeled side this, side that. Very neat. All right. Then the next one that we have here is entitled Periscope, and Periscope is the demos for what ended up becoming Nothing Face. Okay, and this actually came with a little insert that has the lyrics on here. Okay, so up the production values a little bit with this one, and got another photo of the band there up in Canada. And this follows the track listing pretty much of what the album was. The Unknown Nose, Sub Effect, Nothing Face, Pre-Ignition, Into My Hypercube, X-Ray Mirror, Inner Combustion, and Missing Sequences. And it sounds fantastic. And this vinyl is a really cool, like lavender. All right, and once again, this and that, sidewise, very cool. Sounds very, very good. Like I said, I was kind of on the fence about getting these, but I do not regret getting them. I scooped them up all at once, and on this one, I believe this is numbered as well. And like I said, you got to hunt around for it. Yep, really small. Right up there is it's number 611, and these are all hand numbered by Blackie himself. And basically the liner notes are on the back of the sleeve, and the lyrics are on that insert that's there. Next one we have, okay, this is Alveol, all right, which is the Angel Rat demos. And you got Alveol, Angel Rat, Nomads, Best Regard, Freedom, Golem, New Age Fractal, Panorama, Come to My World, The Proud, None of the Above, The Outcast, and Freedom, which was live at Backstreet in May 24th of 91. And with this, I believe this might be just another plain, plain nothing with it, but it did come on this pretty cool looking deep gray vinyl, silver gray vinyl, if you want to call it, and this is labeled side A and side B. So we had a little change of how we did things on this album as far as the labeling goes. And this is number 665, if you see that little hand numbering right there. And then the next one you have, this is where things got kind of ugly online. It's this is the Outer Limits demo, okay? And the big deal here was that Blackie didn't play on it. Pierre St. John did. And this has on it Time Warp, Wrong Way Street, Fix My Heart, La Pointe Noire, Moonbeam Rider, Gotta Get Out, We Are Not Alone, Falling Down, The Lost Machine, Ride, On the Run, and Inside My Head. And this is number 258. Got a pretty low number on that one, which is pretty cool. And vinyl on this is a very cool, transparent, like lemon yellow. Very neat. And the final one in this collection of Voivod demos is the not demo, but the live release, which is a 2-album set. And this is when they played at a bar. The one time they played at a bar live at St. Romuald. Don't speak French, so don't kill me. And it was in, I believe it was May of '86. And with this, no gatefold, and this is another low number, 271 right there. And this had a pretty killer sound, set list on it. Korgel the Exterminator, Warriors of Ice, Fuck Off and Die, Live for Violence, Blower, Black City, Voivod Helldriver, Horror War, and Pain Order of the Blackguards. War and Pain, Order of the Blackguards, Slaughter in a Grave, Suck Your Bone, Build Your Weapons, Iron Gang, Killing Technology, and Nuclear War. And this is on a double vinyl set. And like I said, it's what you would expect of like a bar recording, but it's pretty damn well. And this is like a see-through, transparent, like blackish gray album. And once again, this is labeled differently. This is face A, face B, and then you've got face C and face D. I apologize for rushing through all the song titles there and kind of shoving a couple together there. But I wanted to make sure I got through all of them. I didn't want to kill everybody's day by spending so much time doing this. Now we're down to the last thing, right? So this is interesting. So as I said, this week I was, getting ready in the house. We were, having company come over because my twins graduated high school. Very proud of them. They did an excellent job. They'll be moving on to college in the fall. And that caused like the mad dash to get things tidy up before people get to the house. And you clean more than you ever have to. It's like I always say that my wife and I, we clean like the queen is coming. And as I was cleaning up the garage, because we have a ping pong table out there, my kids want to be able to use the ping pong table, which they ended up not doing because it was so incredibly hot when we had the party that nobody left the damn house. I mean, like, it was 90 plus degrees with like a ridiculous amount of humidity, and everybody was terribly uncomfortable and didn't want to go anywhere. But in the lead up to that, the run up to all that, I was, tasked with getting things in order out in the garage. All right. And I don't move too well anymore. I have a bunch of physical injuries that I deal with. And, I move slow. But when you move slow, you have a tendency to take a look at things a little better. Many episodes back, I mentioned that I had a drumstick that I got from Guy Gelso of Zebra. I did locate that. It is still safely out in the vault garage. And one of the other things I found, which was really cool, in a milk crate, yes, milk crates are proper storage for record collections, in a milk crate was this little gem. Gothic Slam, all right? So for the unfamiliar, Gothic Slam was a New Jersey-based band, and they really had an affinity for the nightclub that I worked in back in the late 80s, early 90s called Streets, right? I was one of the DJs there, and they loved the club so much, it was like their second home. They loved it so much that the photo from their album cover, just a face in the crowd, was actually taken from the stage at Streets during one of their shows of the crowd. A lot of them were regulars back then that showed up to the gig. All right, they put out 2 albums. This was the more successful of the 2, and styles changed, things changed. They did have Dave Chiavari on drums, and Dave went on to other bands, and he was very sought after. But they did demo some songs for a third album that never came out. And this is an extremely rare demo. Guys gave it to me back in the day because I worked in the club, also worked at a radio station, and it gave you a glimpse as to what they were doing. And sometimes you'll see online on Discogs that it's on there. It's like I said, it's very rare because it was only basically like hand delivered by these guys to people that wanted to have it. And it's funny because Dave Chiavari is like a big drummer as far as thrash goes. I'm going to cover it up, but Dave Chiavari's phone number is actually right on there. We'll try and let you see Dave's name, but not show you his number. What differs my copy of this than most people, at least as ones that I've seen online, right? It gives you the information on what's on here as far as who did what, and also the track listing, which has Blindly Believing, Boom Shalak, Close Tight, Time Is Up, Lord Knows, and The Game Is Over. Not too many people have this inside of their copy of the cassette. All right. Not only is it the little promo photo that they put in for this album, it is autographed by every member of the band. So how cool is that? And this was, a true, garage find, out in the vault. And like I said, I've managed to keep this since 1993. It's moved with me everywhere I've moved, so currently in my home for the past 22 years. But, from 93, I was living on my own and moved back home, then back out again. So really cool to have this, just wanted to show that too. It's a rarity among rarities in my collection. Pretty cool as far as, thrash metal history goes. So that's that. So just want to thank you all for checking out the show, coming to my channel and checking that out. Stick around, there's going to be more stuff coming week after week. Love having people here, love the comments, love the conversations with people, even when I'm wrong, which is kind of often. But thank you so much for checking out the channel. Like I said, if you haven't already, if this didn't convince you to click the subscribe button, I don't know what the hell it is. Click the subscribe button, and thank you so much. And as I always say, peace, one love, and music. I'll catch you all next week. I'm out.